In this week's vlog, we are going to explore more of the Ask for More series. It might seem strange and perhaps even inappropriate to look at how do we ask for more of what we want in a world that's facing such great challenge, such insecurity and such scarcity. But the evidence shows us that the more we focus on what we want more of rather than what we want less of, the more likely we are to get it. So, instead of focusing on having less anxiety, having less unhappiness or ill health or dissatisfaction, instead focusing on having more calmness or confidence or health and happiness and vitality and life satisfaction means that you're much more likely to get it. If you're not sure about what your core needs are, check back in the last blog and there's a list of the most common needs to help you to identify them. But this week we're going to focus on self-compassion. Kirsten Neff has done so much research into self-compassion. She's even created her own self-compassion mindfulness training. And actually, what she has found is that there are 3 components that enable self-compassion to happen. And before we look at those, I want to just explore a little bit about what self-compassion is. So self-compassion is about kindness and love. But what's interesting about compassion is that it's not an emotion, it is a motivation. So if we put electrodes on your head and you were feeling compassionate, part of your motor cortex would be lit up. So what's so powerful about compassion versus, say, empathy or sympathy is that compassion also kind of fuels you up for action to make change. And in fact, the origins of the word come from the alleviation of suffering. So the 3 factors are self-judgment versus self-kindness, so obviously more self-kindness. We all have that inner critic, and I know that my reason for becoming really interested in self-compassion and a real follower of self-compassion as a practice is because my inner critic used to be so vocal, so believable, so authoritative, that actually it really impacted on my life, and I felt that that was just the way things should be. I didn't realise that actually I could change it. It took commitment, but actually it was relatively easy to change. And self-kindness and self-love in this environment of self-compassion really looks at how would you start to treat yourself as you would the person that you love most in the world. Sounds like a cliche, but it's often the really simple ideas that if we implement and practice again and again, they really start to facilitate change. The next area that Kirsten Neff identified is common humanity versus isolation. So often when people aren't practicing self-compassion, they can feel isolated or hidden away, or shame starts to develop. But what her research has shown is that by recognising that there are lots and lots, millions of other people experiencing similar feelings to the feelings that we're feeling, can move us from isolation to common humanity. That helps to give it voice, and it helps to move towards more self-compassion. The third area is around mindfulness versus over-identification. So over-identification looks like really being hyper-vigilant to your feelings, how you're feeling, the situation, how people have treated you, the narrative, the story that you're telling yourself in your head about what that means, about you as a person, how it affects your self-esteem. You can see that you can get into this kind of cycle. Whereas mindfulness is an awareness of what's going on, but it's almost a little bit more removed because there is an acceptance. And as soon as you can get to that peaceful acceptance around a situation, the sooner you can get to change and to do something about it. So these are the 3 areas that I'd like to encourage you to look at this week. Let me know how you get on, and as ever, please do get in touch if you need some more support with it. It's a big topic. It takes practice. So please give yourself that gift and start to ask for more of what you actually want. I'll see you next time.